I was first exposed to the Teach for India movement about 12 months ago, and what amazed me was the fact that this could be a real game-changing initiative for India.
I wish something like this had come out when I was, passing out of school or college.
And I have seen that the students who go in for these teaching programs are so well equipped by the time they finish the teaching assignments, because they have developed leadership skills which they would not have been able to develop had they been in the corporate world.
Why leadership? Because when you engage with a community that you're not used to working with before, it's a very different challenge. You have to bring out your communication skills, your convincing skills, and at the end of those 2 years, you might well find that your power to influence, your capability to really make a difference is substantial. And I can promise you, having spent over 25 years in the corporate sector, that that's really what you need to succeed in work and in life.
Some of you, maybe even most, might consider a further education. And I think the Teach for India program will allow you to learn a lot more from the further degree that you might choose to do, whether it's Masters in Communication or Business or any other. I've seen this having been part of international schools' admission process, where people who've been in organizations like Teach for India and Teach for America seem to be a lot more confident, seem to be a lot more capable, and know what it's like to be successful, having led organizations before or led projects before.
I think it's a win-win situation for corporate India, for the youngster who's committing himself to this task, and indeed, most importantly, for those not privileged to have the same access to education and to the things in life that several of us have had.
So I think to be able to give 2 years of your life after your college or your school or whatever you're doing is not giving, it's absolutely gaining from that experience. I think whatever you do after that, whether you become a corporate head or you go and teach somewhere else or you never do anything connected to what you did in those 2 years, it would never be a waste.
Young people can particularly make a difference because the world belongs to the young people. And by teaching in Teach for India, they are going to create the world in which they are going to live in the future.
When you finish your Teach for India stint, you are ready for employment anywhere. You're ready to make a difference, whether it's in public life, it's in the corporate sector, in the social sector, or really anything you choose to do. So I would strongly urge you, consider Teach for India, consider making a difference to yourself and to society.
Whatever we might say, however we might define success, I think all of us somewhere have that deep longing and deep desire to do something different, to be someone who is probably looked upon as with admiration, and I think all of us will gain that little respect, that little credibility for ourselves and for others.
I don't think it's easy. I think that you need to have a lot of perseverance. It's going to be tough. I think you need to have a lot of grit, a lot of commitment. And certainly you have to be someone who is capable of doing this. I think Teach for India is looking for the best among the best.